Stop copying big creators. Instead, study the small creators that blew up hundreds of thousands of followers within the last year. So I personally did some studying myself, and after politely stalking the fastest growing creators' accounts and 37 pages of notes later, I noticed repeatable processes, patterns, and frameworks any creator can use to grow from zero to hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram so they can build their personal brand and business. In this video, I'm going to share with you what I found. Part number 1, series content. A lot of the fastest growing creators from the past year have had this one thing in common. But what is a series on social media? Series content is a planned sequence of related posts that follow the same theme, format, or promise, released over time to keep people coming back for the next part. You see, series generate a lot of followers because of this. People follow so they can see the next episode, especially if you leave them on a cliffhanger. Here is a step-by-step process on how to create your own series. Step number 1, niche/topic. Pick an overall niche/topic for your series. On the screen, I added some great examples of series that you could use for inspiration and check out for yourself, and then the topics for each of them. Step number 2, pick a series type. Here are some of the most common series type that I see that work really, really well. Number 1, the daily series. Some of the biggest creators from the past year have grown through this method. Each day you post a video, and in the hook, you're going to state the day, and you're going to restate the goal of the series. Then you give a small update/report on a win, problem, or progress about your goal and what happened that same day. And that's basically every single episode. And basically the series is completed once your goal is completed. And there are some crazy people who are doing incredible who are on like day 239 or something. So these can be long. Number 2, the progress update series. The whole series is based around completing one single goal. And each episode is basically a progress update on that goal. The main difference between this series and the other one we went over is it's not a daily update. And you can really structure this one to be like a step-by-step you completing a plan. Just look at the examples on the screen. It will kind of make more sense. But I really, really like these. For example, Haley's goals become one of the number 1 best-selling New York authors. And her series is based on each step of writing her book. Number 3, we have the lesson series. For these series, each episode is like a new lesson learned or an educational take on a topic, like Chloe's iconic 30 Lessons by 30 series, where each episode is a new lesson she learned by the age of 30, or Ken's Raw Faith series, where each episode is a new lesson he learned on his faith journey. Anyways, once you pick a series type, then you can go ahead and move on to step number 3, which is creating a rough draft of your series. Basically, you just want to plan the number of episodes and outline each episode and what the premise is kind of going to be. And then also a posting schedule just to hold yourself accountable because it's super easy to slip up. Then step number 4 is to script, film, edit, and upload your series. So for each episode, when you script and film your content, there are like 4 main formats that work really well for series-based content. Now, a quick reminder, formats are engaging ways to film a video, so it's not just sitting down and talking to the camera. So keep these formats in mind that I'm about to share with you when you're scripting and filming your content. Number 1, the shot/angle change format. So every 2 seconds of the video, there's a new shot or angle used. Number 2, the visual format. So using a prop to demonstrate a niche concept. Number 3, the voiceover format, basically what I'm doing right now in this moment. And number 4, the setting change format. So every 1 to 2 lines, you're filming in a new location or different spot than before. Now, that wraps up the series portion of this video. Man, these have worked the past year, and I do not think these will ever stop working. And it's so genius because it takes Netflix's like whole business model with their shows. And you know how they like have started Amazon Prime and Netflix, they started like dripping out episodes each week, or they post part 1 of a series and then they post part 2 later. That is exactly what you are doing with your short form content. And if you leave people on cliffhangers on each episode, they will follow you because they want to know what happens next. People will hate you for doing cliffhangers, but it's the best marketing strategy. We can be evil. Okay? No, I'm just kidding. Now I want to move on to part 2 of what I have studied and found what works best for creators growing within this past year. And this is if you do not want to do series content. So part 2 is posting the 3 types of content. I want to highlight a creator who's grown over 1 million followers within the past year, and that is none other than Shelby Sapp. Shelby does this one thing really well that I just want to go over, which is posting these 3 types of content. Number 1, educational content, where she explains a niche lesson, tip, mistake, or step-by-step tutorial. Here she builds a lot of authority sharing her knowledge. Number 2, personal/storytelling content. These videos are where she shares her background, her founder story, or personal or business wins, losses, experiences, and some lifestyle content showing the dream result of her target audience that watches her. This content really builds a connection with her and her followers. Like I feel like with Shelby, you can really tell her community's tight. And the reason I say this is when you scroll through her profile, the views are extremely consistent. And this is when you know you've built a true personal brand. When you've just built a following, your views are going to be all over the place, where it's like some videos get 15K views and other videos get 500K, because it's not necessarily you that they're obsessed over. It's just, it might have been like a one-off good piece of content that you posted. But with Shelby, people really care about her, so her views are so consistent consistent, and her view to follower ratio is really, really good for Instagram. Anyway, I'm kind of going on a tangent, but to get back to the video, the third type of content is authority content. This is when she shares personal or client results / testimonials from her product, which builds a lot of trust and it brings in a ton of leads. Now, I will say authority content, this is gonna get you the least amount of views, but that is normal. Posting a mix of these three types of content is going to build you a personal brand, and not just a following, but a personal brand who's obsessed with you, knows, like, and trusts you. And if you have a business like she does, which I recommend you do, of course, it will actually get you leads. Now, Shelby is not the only person who has grown this way within the past year. I mean, yours truly has. There's a lot of other creators who have, but Shelby is a very well-known, great example, so I just wanted to use her. Now, lastly, I wanted to talk about one more thing that the fastest growing creators do and have been doing for years. Part number 3, doubling down. So did you ever notice when smart creators get a viral video, they recreate it over and over again with small tweaks every time? This strategy is called templatizing your viral outliers. But how exactly do you double down on your video? Let me show you. Number 1, you're gonna find your own outliers. So pretend this is your page, and let's say you get on average 1,000 views per video, but then you have 1 to 2 videos that got over 10K views. Boom. Outlier, baby. Here are some real examples of outliers. Boom, boom, bang, boom. Now moving on to step number 2, analyze. Every video has 7 main components. You want to take that viral outlier of yours and break those down. Now, step number 3 is actually doubling down. There are a ton of different ways you can double down in your content. I'm going to go over some of the most common, but in all the ways you can double down, it just involves taking some of those 7 main components and recreating a video using some of those components. Hopefully that made sense. Example A, most components stay the same, but there's one small tweak in the value. Example B is just keeping the format / structure the same, but adjusting the other components each time. Example C is keeping all the components the same except for the format of the video, which is honestly super underrated. This works extremely well. And I did a 90-day test and I got over 12 million views doing this method. It works. I practice what I preach. Now, before we go, I just want to say it seems like these creators grew overnight, but the truth is they didn't. Chloe's been making videos for over 4 years, but just this past year, she exploded because of her series. Ken has been making videos for 2 years on his main account, but this past year, he really started blowing up. You're doing great, by the way, Ken. It took me 3 months of posting on a new account to finally have a win. The key is none of them gave up, and you shouldn't either. As long as you keep posting, you have not failed. Growing a new account on social media is genuinely the hardest part of growing, but do not stop. For most people, it is going to take months or even years to get that first big win, but truly the results of social media are so extremely worth it. For business owners or just creators in general. Follow for more social media marketing education. Let's do this thing together.